Hello there, everyone. My name is Crazy Caleb, and that little sound that you just heard from a Windows notification is going to be the close button. So this is the way the module looks, and what it is it's a little pop-up display, which you have two button options to choose from. It's OK and the X-ray. It has different messages sometimes. Pressing OK gives you 1 Bitcoin, and click OK if you care about the world. However, what we want to do is we actually don't want to click that OK button, because if we click that OK button, it gives us a strike. So just be careful we don't click that guy. If you click OK, you will get a life. And what we're going to do is we're simply actually going to click the close button in this case, as the module suggests by the name. However, it's not that simple. So this is what it is. So what this is the way the module is going to look like. And what we have here is we have a 6x6 grid of a bunch of different X's. All of them are different, mind you. They are different in some way, shape, or form. So describing them on voice is going to be a bit tricky to do. But what it is it's 36 X's, and we have two call nows will pop up on the top and on the right here. And what they're going to do is they will contain numbers between the range of 0 through 5 with a total of 16 digits, and some of them being visible, some of them being not. In this case, the ones that are not visible are marked by asterisks. So what we're going to do is we're going to note down everything present here, including the asterisks present on each of the displays. So I'm going to note down the top first. So in this case, we have 0, asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. I'm not going to note down the dashes because those are not relevant. Then we have 1, 5, asterisk 4. Then we have 4, 5, asterisk 4. Then we have 5, 1, asterisk 2. And then for the right side here, we have asterisk 0, 5, 2, asterisk, asterisk 4, asterisk, or I'm just going to say star now, star, star, 0, star, then star, star, 0, 3. Or star, 3, 0, rather. Sorry about that. And in this case, looking at the way that this module works, you can already see from the asterisks, each digit is only represented in one position on each side. So that means in this first position, there's only that 0. In the second position, there's only this 0. And in this case, there is no duplicate position with two, like there's no position that's present with two numbers present. So in this case, that might give you a hint exactly what we're going to be doing here. So each digit of the two pop-ups represents either a row or column in the table below. And the digits with the black pop-up, in this case the top here, represent the row section of the table, which I'm going to note down here. So we're going to mark this with R in this case. And then the digits in the white pop-out represent the column section in the table. So in this case, we're going to do the column. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to use this interactive table here, and we're going to do some swaps in this case. So how exactly do we do the swaps? Using the visible numbers on the two pop-ups, pair the first and second appearing digits between the two pop-ups, the third and fourth appearing digit between the two pop-ups, and so on, to create 8 pairs of numbers, which can be including with these swaps. We can swap row and row, column and column, row and column, and column and row. Each of the pairs represent the swaps that will be performed in the table below, and we must perform all 8 swaps. So actually, let's do this in this case. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to break apart both of these guys into pairs, essentially. So in this case, we're going to be doing something like this. So that's all I'm going to do right here. And this is the way that we're going to do this module. So now, what exactly does this do for us? So what this represents is we're going to be swapping row 0 for this first one and column 0 for this first one. So in this case, our first swap is going to be row 0 and column 0. Our next pair is going to be swapping column 2 and column 5. Column 5 and then column 2. Next up is going to be row 1 and row 5. R1, R5. Then let's actually just shorten all of these guys together. So next up is going to be column 4, then row 4 in this case. 4, then row 4, row 5, then column 0, row 4, then row 5, row 1. Then lastly, we're going to swap column 3 with row 2. Column 3, row 2. And what we're going to do is we're going to perform all 8 of these swaps in order. So let's do this. And please note that I am using the interactive by vFlyer. You can find this on the manual by clicking more on the right side here and doing interactive. So I would highly advise you that you do the interactive in this case, because a lot of these symbols are very similar, and I don't think you want to be working with having to move all these guys around and describing them especially. So let's take a look here. So we're going to swap row 0 and column 0, which in this case we're simply just going to select row 0 and column 0, and it'll perform the swap. Then column 5 and column 2. Then row 1 and row 5. Then column 4 and row 4, column 4, row 4. Then row 4, row 5. Then column 0, row 4, column 0 and row 4. And then row 5 and row 1. And then column 3 and row 2. So now that we have our final grid here, we're going to click on the, we need to find the grid, find the button in the grid that has the same position on this little table here. So let's take a look here. And it is important to note that if you happen to select the wrong button in this case, the entire module will reset. All the digits will be different, all the positions will be different as well. So it's very important that you don't strike in this case. So let's take a look. We're going to go row by row, and we'll see which symbol matches one of these positions on the module, because that's what we're looking for here. In this case, we're trying to figure out which symbol is the exact same in the same position as before. So let's look through here. I'm not going to bother describing all of these guys because there's a lot of names. So what you can do is you can essentially figure out some names here. Some of them have boxes. You can separate them by boxes. Some of them have circles. Some of them actually have nothing around them. And some of them are sort of drawn like a little child, in this case, like this one, for example. However you prefer to decide to explain them to one another, that's up to you. I'm not the one who's going to be creating the sort of slang or describing ways that you can give people the symbols you're looking at in this case. Let's continue on here. This one's very close to being in the right position, but not quite. Continuing on. Very close, not quite though. And in this case, this one is the button that we're going to be looking at here. In this case, we have delta 4 in this case corresponds to delta 4 on the grid here. So in this case, this is the button we're going to select, solve the module. And just like that is a solved module. And this is exactly what you do with this module. You simply do a couple of swaps based off of the two call now pop-ups, and the positions will be missing on some of them, but there will always be the exact positions that you need to figure out what swaps you're going to be doing. That's what the asterisks are for, to figure out which pairs that you're looking at in this case. So let's take a look at one final example. This module itself is not very hard, but the only thing that's tricky about it is the diffuser aspect when you're doing it on voice bombs. Describing these symbols is a pain in the ass. So let's make sure we don't click the OK button, because that's going to strike us. And let's click the close button to get the module activated. Let's hear the dial-up internet sound real quick. And now we're presented with new symbols here. So as I said before, so let's take a look at this 3, 2, 1 up top. Let's simply press any random button.
Not it, I'm afraid.
And the module strikes us. So now we will appear back on the beginning page. Whenever the lights turn back on. So we'll appear back at the beginning page. We'll press the close button. And a new sequence will be generated. Notice that the 3, 2, 1 on top is gone, so that means we've got a new sequence here. So in this case, be careful that you don't strike on this module. It's not going to be fun. So in this case, let's get our row set here. So in this case, we have row equaling asterisk, asterisk, asterisk 3. And let's actually split these guys up into 2 pairs. Let's just do that already. So next up, we have 3, 4, then 4, 2. Then asterisk, asterisk, asterisk 0. Then 5 asterisk, 3 asterisk. Then for our columns over on the right side, we have 0, 1, then 4 asterisk. Notice that there was 2 asterisks present on the row, and then there's 2 numbers present on the columns. That means it already covers for one of our swaps. Next up, we have 4 asterisks, asterisk, 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 as you would expect from 3, 4, and 4, 2. Then next up, we have 3, 3, then 1 asterisk, and asterisk 0, asterisk 5. That real quick. And now we have our swaps. So in this case, I'm not going to split it up. I'm going to simply just say column 0 and column 1 are swapping. So column 0 and column 1 are swapping. Next up, we have column 4 and row 3. column 4, and row 3. Then row 3, row 4. Then row 4, row 2. Then column 3, column 3. That simply means just no swap. You just leave it alone. Then next up, column 1, and then row 0. Then row 5, column 0. Row 5 and column 0. Then row 3 and column 5. Row 3 and column 5. And now let's find the button that corresponds to the exact same position on our table here. And we'll press that module to submit the module, and we'll be done with this. Let's hope it's an earlier one. And right here, the this X-ray with the green in the bottom right corresponds to the exact same position, Bravo 1 in this case on the actual module, and Bravo 1 if we were using A, B, C, D, E, F, so on and so forth. Or excuse me, Alpha 2 rather, sorry, I don't know my positions. So in this case, Alpha 2 corresponds to the same position as it does on the table here, and this is going to be our answer for this module. A couple seconds. And just like that is a solved module. As always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to stay crazy, stay cool, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.